All right, if you're a Business Central consultant, you know exactly the feeling I'm about to describe. It's that hard-stopping moment of panic. You're juggling what? 3 clients? Each one has a production, a sandbox, a UAT, and they all look completely identical. And for just a split second, you ask yourself that terrifying question.
Am I in production right now or am I in sandbox? Come on, we've all been there. It is that split second of pure fear because we know exactly what happens when you get the answer to that question wrong.
And this is it. This is the nightmare scenario. One single wrong click and bam, you're messing with live financial data when you thought you were totally safe in a sandbox environment. It brings operations to a grinding halt, and worst of all, it leads to a very awkward phone call with your client. And the whole thing happens because of one simple, infuriating fact.
This right here. This is the root of the problem. Every single BC environment looks exactly the same. There are no visual clues, no guardrails, nothing to tell you that you're in the live system versus a safe test area. It feels like you're walking a high-stakes tightrope every single day. But what if there was a safety net?
Okay, so let's talk about the solution. It's a browser extension called BC Client Navigator. And get this, it was built by a BC consultant just like us, specifically to solve this exact problem. It's a whole toolkit designed for how we actually work. So the tool has 4 main features, but right now we're going to focus on the 2 most critical safety components you can get up and running in just a few minutes: environment banners and per-page notes. Let's start with the one that gives you that immediate fix for the production or sandbox problem.
This right here is the absolute core safety feature, and the idea is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Give every single environment a can't-miss-it, permanent, colored banner right at the top of the page. You will know exactly where you are 100% of the time. No more guessing.
And look at this. The difference is just night and day. On the left, you've got that generic BC header we all know and tolerate. But on the right, that custom banner. It is instantly crystal clear that I am in the Brickability Client's test environment. There is zero ambiguity, and it all works with a really simple color system.
It uses a simple traffic light logic, which I love. Red means stop and think. You are in a live production environment. Green means go. You're safe. You're in a sandbox or a test, dev, or UAT. That's user acceptance testing environment. And blue is for your demos. At a single glance, you know the risk level of what you're doing.
And getting this set up is ridiculously easy. It's literally 3 steps. First, you just create a new client record. Let's call it Acme Corp, and maybe you pick a custom color just for them. Second, you assign their specific BC environments, their production, their sandbox, their UAT to that client record you just made, and that's it. You're done. From now on, that banner just appears automatically on every single page for that client.
Okay, so that takes care of knowing where you are. But what about remembering what you're supposed to be doing on any given page? This is where the next feature, per-page notes, comes in. Think of it like a shared project memory that lives right inside Business Central.
Now, here's what makes this so incredibly useful. A note you create on the customer card, say in the Acme production environment, will only show up on that specific page in that specific environment. It doesn't clutter up your screen anywhere else. It is context-aware memory. Let me show you a few examples of how you'd use this.
So, you can set up an info note. This is perfect for capturing a key project decision. Instead of digging through hundreds of emails to remember the agreed-upon go-live date for opening balances, you just leave a little note right there on the General Ledger setup page. Genius.
Or, and this is even more powerful, you can set up a warning note. So, imagine you're on the customer card for a huge account. This note immediately warns any consultant, hey, don't touch this. It can prevent someone from accidentally switching a custom-coded payment term, which, as you know, can prevent a really serious billing error.
You can also use it to create these handy, actionable reminders. Like here, you can drop a to-do note on the bank account page to remind yourself to configure SEPA, that's the Single Euro Payments area, and you can even link it directly to the ticket over in Jira or Azure DevOps.
And finally, this is my personal favorite, the gotcha note. I mean, come on, every single project has these, right? Those weird little quirks from a data migration or some bizarre client process. This lets you document them right on the page where they matter, saving you and your team hours of troubleshooting down the line.
Now, while the banners and notes are definitely the core safety features, the toolkit actually includes a couple of other really powerful tools designed to make a consultant's life just a little bit easier. So let's take a quick look at those.
For starters, it comes with a built-in implementation tracker, and it's preloaded with 17 standard setup milestones.
So for any new client project you spin up, you immediately have a checklist covering all the fundamentals, from the chart of accounts all the way to users and permissions.
And this tracker is super flexible. You can add your own custom items, like, say, configure the Shopify integration. You can link out to project documents in SharePoint, and you can track your progress for each client with its own progress bar. It's like having this lightweight project plan that's always just one click away.
And one last thing, it also includes a smart recent pages history. It remembers the last 5 pages you visited, but it groups them by environment, and it uses human-readable names like sales orders instead of some generic browser tab title. Honestly, it just makes jumping between your common pages so much faster.
So, you're probably wondering, how do I get this? Well, the great thing is you can start using those core safety features I mentioned immediately for free. Let's break down the options real quick. Okay, so the free version gives you those essential safety features, the banner and the recent pages, for one client and up to 3 environments. Pretty generous, right? The pro version, though, that unlocks everything. Unlimited clients, unlimited environments, unlimited notes, and it adds that really useful implementation tracker. Now I know what you're thinking. For a tool like this, privacy is absolutely critical. And I want to be super clear about this. The BC Client Navigator is 100% private. All your data, your client names, your notes, everything is stored locally in your browser. Nothing is ever sent to an external server. It's all yours. And when you think about the price for Pro, it's about £10 a year. It really puts things into perspective. For any consultant billing a standard day rate, we're talking about literally less than 1 minute of your billable time for a full year of safety, efficiency, and peace of mind.
So, I'll just leave you with this question. Think back to that production or sandbox moment of panic. How much is it worth to your reputation, to your client's trust, and just to your own sanity to prevent that one single major mistake